Digicore reported a 74% drop in full-year headline earnings per share to 3.3 cents, and revenue grew 2% to 866 million rand. Well, I caught up with CEO Nick Flock to ask him more on this.
I think you all know by now that I left for about 18 months on semi-retirement, so I've lost a little bit of touch, and I think during the period certainly things have changed. I think there was probably a lack of focus on certain areas, and I think we even made the mistake during the period that we tried to do everything for everybody all the time. So myself coming back here just realized that we had to consolidate our operations to make sure that we get back to basics and really just do the basic stuff. We've done a lot of training over the period. We've recaptured some of our clients by just increasing the service to them. And I think that, in a nutshell, what had happened. We had a sales model where we internally funded on a rental basis virtually 100% of all the sales we've done. In the meantime, we were fortunate enough now to sign up with 2 financial institutions that will alleviate that problem. In other words, they will fund the sale to the customer and the customer will pay them directly. So our cash flow problem will become a lot easier, or will go away to an extent, and the short-term profitability would be back to where it should have been. Yet at the same time, we will try and continue to grow our annuity income obviously for the next couple of years then as well.
Now, you're one of the founders of this business, and for a period of 18 months it was under different leadership. Then you came back, as you mentioned, now you are running this ship. What can we expect to be different right now? Because if you had to look at the share price from what it was doing post 2008, not much has happened since.
No, to be 100% right. I think the difference maybe is I've been in the business for 20 odd years. So I think by now I know exactly where to look for problem areas, which is exactly what we've done. And as I said, we've identified losing money on our cellular division, which I've rectified over the last couple of months. Training was an issue where technicians went out and they had to go back for a second time, and that is annoying to clients. So as I said, we've embarked on that training process. As I said, just purely the fact that I've been in the...
Now, I just want to look at your revenue because it was up by 2%. You mentioned that you're going to be looking at numerous strategies, so your sales and marketing, to bring that up. What exactly are those strategies?
Well, we've changed the sales team as such, where we now have a fair number of people looking after existing clients. The old story, it's easier to maintain by giving good service an existing customer, and remember, they're all on a 36-month rental basis, so you need to look after and keep them happy. And on the other side, we've also appointed now the so-called hunters, so we will be looking for new business. And I think the fact that we've released new and upmarket technology again during the last 12 months will allow us to actually capture new markets and new customers as we go along. I truly believe, and on the insurance side, that has been very important for us over the last year or two as well. We've invested a fair amount of money that obviously reflected in terms of cost that we had during the last 12 months negatively as well. But I'm quite confident that going forward in the UK and in Australia, as well as in Malaysia, and needless, the Discovery transaction in South Africa will start repaying back on the investments we've made. And just the deal with Discovery itself that was done recently will allow us not only to grow our base, but also will alleviate our cash flow situation.
Let's talk about other markets, because you do mention that you have to keep adapting. How big is Africa going to be in terms of your growth strategy?
Africa is an important market to us. I think over the last 2 odd years in particular, we've had a situation that in the mining industry, and I know they're taking a bit of strain, but also the oil and gas industry, we've managed to make inroads. And I think Africa last year, funny enough, was one of the better performance in terms of growth that we have seen coming through during that period. So yes, Africa remains important to us. We are involved with MTN International as well, and hopefully they will take us into African states that we haven't been in before.
You mentioned Malaysia. What other areas or geographical areas are you looking into expanding into?
Look, currently, part of the consolidation process, we closed our office in Mexico, which the intention at the time was to look at North and South America, maybe to an extent. But again, I think we had the wrong people there, so we've closed it. We will probably relook at it in time to come. In the meantime, for the last 18 odd months, we've had a relationship with Mega Fortis, a company in Malaysia that is involved in security and lock systems, electronic locks on containers. So we're very much involved with them. They've opened an office in China recently. They've invested huge amounts of money as well, and we're involved in that whole TAPA project, which relates to the safe movement of containers right from Beijing right down to Singapore. But as I said, the nice thing there is we might have invested in technology for them, so yes, there was some money that went into it, but on the distribution side, they're taking full responsibility for that. So the opportunity to move slowly but surely into China is now becoming a reality.